Hello, welcome back to the 8th episode of Legion of Clods podcast, or as I'm going to start calling them, the Clodcasts, which I believe Lachlan might have said in a previous episode.
Yep, this was a revelation we had, about 3 or 4 podcasts ago.
Yeah, and I didn't decide to start calling him that until now, because I'm good at it.
Fantastic.
It's a Clod.
Yeah, basically, that's why we named it this. So, back this week with the same usual people.
Oh, my hand.
Why don't you guys introduce yourself? Oh, my hand.
It hurts. I think I pulled something in it.
Do we get a name for this?
No.
Scott has lost his name and has only become pain. Just the embodiment of it.
I have. Okay, there. Now it's better.
Though instead of the usual elemental embodiment of emotions and concepts, he's just experiencing it constantly rather than causing it in others. So kind of a shit deal, honestly.
So Scott's here.
Yeah, I am. Hey.
The voice of reason for every podcast and almost all of our events, Taylor, is also here.
You don't know my life.
I mean, you're for the most part the voice of reason, which is good. Everybody needs one. And this other guy,
Hello.
Garrett. And I'm Logan. Pretty sure this entire time I haven't actually ever said my name at the intro. Like once. So, yeah, here to talk to you about video games and stuff, maybe. If we don't get horribly sidetracked, which seems to be a reoccurring theme. So, let's start off as usual with what's everybody been playing recently?
Nothing.
I was gonna say, please don't all speak at once, but you spoke, Scott. So, Scott, what have you been playing?
I just answered your question.
Have you really not been playing anything in the last 2 weeks we've been talking? We haven't been talking.
Other than League, no.
Yeah.
I've been quite busy.
Yeah, I understand that. I haven't got to play a whole lot.
I have yet to touch Dragon's Crown.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've been playing Dragon's Crown. I forgot about that. Garrett, what have you been playing? It seems we have lost Garrett.
Okay, hello, is it working now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're good.
Okay. I was typing something and muted myself so it wouldn't make undue noise. No, I've been playing the same thing as last week. World of Warcraft and League of
Hey,
Legends.
can I bring in 4 friends real quick?
Sure, raise it.
Oh god, the perfect timing. I hope he lets him know that I'm recording.
I think that's why I'm muted.
Yeah.
I hope Ray drops a brick on his foot.
I hope they're all. Wait, Garrett, you should unmute. We need to hear them.
I don't think we do.
Allow them to become part of a thing. Although they might be really loud, so I don't know. It's just a bunch of audio that I don't want. Anyways, Taylor, what have you been playing?
Oh god, I forgot to play video games this week.
You had one job.
I know. Aside from all my classwork. No, I've just been playing League as usual.
And?
I thought about... I'm not discussing this.
No, we have to discuss it.
I got dragged into World of Warcraft.
Woo!
You bastards.
Yeah, Taylor's been playing Warcraft with us. It's great.
I've played it once.
And you're gonna continue.
Man, I didn't ask for this.
We're gonna have a dungeon group together. It's gonna be great.
Man.
And Garrett's gonna. I hate that. I understand, but I hate that this happened when it did. It's that moment. You know the moment you start recording, something weird's gonna happen.
Should tell Ray to go away. Get out of his own room.
Ray leave just belongs to both of us, but you have to leave. So I guess first on the list, we're gonna start off with something that's not exactly video game related, but has something to do with I guess anyone who games on a PC. Windows 10 has been announced recently, and they have offered a free upgrade for anyone on Windows 7 or Windows 8. So, woohoo to that, I guess. Scott, would you like to add anything to this? Since
About what?
about Windows 10?
Uh,
Just thoughts.
They skipped 9, the bastards.
There's a reason why. Kind of.
Why?
I think it's because they didn't want to get like their programming confused for Windows 95 and Windows 9 because they both had the 9 in it. Apparently, it's just really lazy reasoning.
Okay, I mean, I don't know.
But,
Hooray! But I mean, so they're yeah, I find it interesting that they're putting so many Halo things into it. I mean, I can't think of. There were like 3 or 4 Halo-related things that they're integrating into the operating system. I can only remember Cortana at the moment, but I mean, they own it, so why not? But it's interesting.
Yeah, and I know that with that coming out, that's a whole new system, and you're going to be able to upgrade if you have Windows 7 or Windows 8.1 or something like that. There's like a specific patch for it. And it will be able to run DirectX 12? Is that correct, Scott?
I think it was. Yeah, that's 12.
I'm in this plane of existence again.
Greetings, welcome back.
Right, all of Ray's friends came in, and then he grabbed King of Tokyo and then left.
Yeah, that would sound about right.
Oh, and by the way, Ray says hello. Also, hello, Internet, I guess. He didn't specifically address you, just friends. I guess the Internet people can go suck one. They don't matter.
Yeah, screw you guys.
Screw you, audience.
Yeah.
Non-existent
5 of you.
audience.
Yeah. Also, I love how like you just came back and your mic overwhelmingly grabbed all of the sounds of everything.
Yeah, they're like, what are you playing? And I'm like, World of Warcraft? And then they called me a weeb, and I'm like, no, that is not the correct term.
This
You
is
are
not
the
how
weeb,
this works.
sir.
Oh, were they his female friends from?
2 of them were. It was Jack, Andrew, Taylor, and Ingrid.
All right, the other. Oh wait, I'm not going to disclose names, but
Like Garrett just did.
well, I was
I
gonna.
mean,
I almost
last-
disclosed a full name, and I'm not about that life.
Schmetty Werben Jaeger Jensen III.
Yeah, he was
Number 1.
It's true, if you don't know who he is, you've been living out of the loop.
Indeed. Yeah. So Garrett, did you have anything to comment on the Windows 10 being free thing?
I hope they don't fuck it up as bad as they did Windows 8. Because if they didn't, I'll actually download it. Otherwise, it's just another horrible operating system I don't want to struggle through.
Supposedly, they're trying to make it back more like Windows 7 or something. So that
And I'm assuming this got brought up, because I think Taylor told me about it before, that supposedly they have an option for touchscreen and non-touchscreen.
oh god, that would be beautiful.
Hoping you can switch between, though, because my laptop, I want the regular computer operating system on it, not the touchscreen thing, because I don't use the touchscreen. And so, I just hope that there's an easy way to switch between it if you prefer one over the other.
Yeah. That'd still be, I mean, I guess it could be pretty good if you have like one of those 2-in-1 tablets or whatever.
Yeah.
Because then you could just go between the two versions of the operating system.
And I hope they don't, like, ruin a lot of other things, because my laptop is touchscreen, and so, as of, like, the other day when I finished updating it, it would, my touchpad would no longer work. I could only operate it with touchscreen, commands and whatnot.
There's strange things that people do with touchscreens. It's like whenever Scott and I were discussing the Smash Brothers for Wii U. Whenever you get the menu, you can't press the buttons on the touchscreen, and that's just, I feel like reverse of what you want from a system like that.
Yeah.
I guess yours implements it more, but it was still just one of those backwards things. Did we ever discuss what you were playing? If you want to discuss that other than Warcraft. Yeah, I guess we said Warcraft.
And League. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
It's been covered. I haven't had any other games since then. I mean, I have like 4 League of Legends skins now, which I had none before, and I still haven't had to pay for a single one. 3 were free, and 1 was given to me by Logan.
Yeah! Birthdays! Woo!
Fun things.
Yeah. I forgot to mention that I've been playing a lot of WoW with Taylor and Garrett and Jackson. Who's
They don't know who Jackson is.
yeah, and then he just murlocked.
That was dumb.
Yeah, Taylor just murlocked. But then I've also been playing, as Scott said, Dragon's Crown, which apparently like 2 years ago was a pretty controversial games because of the boobses.
And the buttses.
And the buttses. That Amazon has a butt.
The Amazon?
The Amazon has a butt.
Well, I mean, most human beings do. It's
a big old booty. It's a big old muscly booty. Her legs are like the size of like her torso.
Of small children.
Professional game analysis here on the Clodcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm explaining why it was controversial. Like, so it was really controversial because a lot of the women folk are everyone's really exaggerated, but people focused a lot on the women folk being things. I might throw up some pictures here, just like what they look like, kind of roughly. But the two characters that really got the most attention were the sorcerer being very, very busty woman, and the Amazon who has the biggest thighs just ever. Like, she could probably crush a normal-sized human, not even just small children. But the thing that I also think is kind of left out in that is that everyone's over-exaggerated in that. Like, the fighter has a giant top half, but really tiny little legs. And then you've got the dwarf who is literally just muscle. Only muscle. That's all he is. And so, they're all over-exaggerated. It's part of the art style. The art style is very reminiscent of a moving picture. It's very like watercolory, and it looks really, really pretty. And it's a beat 'em up kind of game, so I like it a lot. So speaking of Warcraft and kind of MMOs, that's what the word I was looking for. Elder Scrolls Online, which is obviously the Elder Scrolls MMO, is losing its subscription fee. I do not know if they're still doing the, like, you have to buy it originally, but I already own the game, so I'm not too worried about it.
I think they are. I think that's kind of how I heard it described, is where you have to pay for the original. You have to pay for it once, and then there's no subscription fee.
So it's going to become kind of like the Secret World, where you just have to pay one thing and there's no subscription fee.
Kind of. And then I believe there's also going to be like a premium system, where you do pay a subscription and stuff, but it's not required.
Right. I just hope
and you
it's
get
not like
bonuses and such.
Yeah. I just hope it's not like a restriction or like restricted areas or something. You have to be a premium member to go here. But that's exciting for me because I played that game a little bit and enjoyed it a decent amount. I feel like no one else really plays that or cares.
Nope.
I'd consider doing it now that it's free.
So you said you're actually considering it?
Maybe. Like, I might buy the game when it's on sale.
Yeah, I would say it's worth picking up. I mean, it has a very, MMO, quest and stuff, but it gives you like that first person feel and a little bit more of the Elder Scrolls feel to it. It's not like it was something that I saw. It was, I think, on a subreddit for Elder Scrolls. Is that they're saying like don't expect Skyrim the MMO, but it is very Elder Scrolls like. So I say it's worth picking up, especially with it being free now. Other things involving companies around this is the new Blizzard game that has been, I guess, like beta has kind of been released. Heroes of the Storm. There are some cinematic trailers and stuff for it. I feel like you guys might know a little bit more about this than me, Garrett and Taylor.
I don't really know much about the game, honestly, except for that I think for $40 you can buy the beta access, and you get some bonuses when the full game comes out, like certain characters you get, and I think that you probably get some of like the in-game premium currency, like League of Legends has with Riot Points.
Yeah. Should also say that it's a MOBA. Didn't mention that.
It looks like a very slow-paced MOBA.
But it's going to be a MOBA, and for anybody who doesn't know what a MOBA is, it's the. Can someone actually give me what the MOBA actually means? Because I don't actually know.
I remember.
Multiplayer online battle arena.
Yeah.
Okay. It's that, and it's like League of Legends or Dota, or I guess Justice Infinite Crisis, which is the DC Universe one. But those are other ones. And I know so far in like the cinematics, you've seen people from StarCraft that I don't know who they are. World of Warcraft characters like the Lich King, Diablo and Tyrael are in it, which is the best for me.
As are a lot of the various character classes from Diablo.
Yeah, and then I think I even saw like I remember when we were playing Diablo 3, there was the Butcher. He was just like a random boss at the end of it. He looked like he was going to be in there. Like they just like showed some things, and that seems like an interesting choice to me. Just kind of throwing like little bosses in there and mini bosses. But hey, if it's free to play, I might check it out because I've checked out a lot of the different MOBAs. But,
Yeah, I don't really care for it that much. I mean, I'm not a very big Blizzard fan, so I'm not as attached to the characters as like Garrett would be. But in terms of gameplay, it looks very slow paced to me. It just doesn't look very impactful. Maybe because it's still in beta, they haven't like upped the ante or whatever. But it just seems very unimpactful.
yeah,
And yeah, there are a lot of factors that make it easier than other MOBAs. Like there's no gold, and when you last hit stuff, everyone on your team gets experience, and you just have like a constant sort of flow of progression.
yeah.
So
No
you
one
don't,
can get left behind if everyone gets everything.
pretty much. So yeah, and you just level up and upgrade your abilities in various ways. So it's an interesting take on it. I'm just not a fan of it personally. Mostly because I've invested so much into League of Legends at this point that I can't leave it.
Yeah, well, we're gonna soon. There's gonna be an entire section of the podcast just dedicated to League. I mean, we already do it like every
I mean, yeah.
round, but probably get like a little special thing to go over it and stuff.
Yeah, we should just have a League of Legends segment alongside Taylor and Scott try to talk about science.
I wish I'd recorded this earlier, just like just to be able to throw in like a small clip.
Because Taylor, they would find us.
We just need to have a segment on the podcast. Taylor and Scott talk about science.
Except for it'll be all of Scott's asinine ideas about science.
And then me just going, what the fuck, Scott?
It's kind of like how way back when I came up with this, like, because I was like, because I had such a boner for Maximum Ride, I came up with this whole theory of the reason we have shoulder blades is because we're destined to grow wings in the future. And this guy came on the forums, and he's like, I forget the word he used, but it was like, he's like, I hate to break it to you, but preemptive evolution is not a thing.
Yeah.
Or something like, I forget the word he used, but it was something like that. He's like, he's like, if any body parts exist because of a part that we don't currently have, it's because we used to have it and it went away, not because we will have it. I was like, screw you, I wanted a tail. But we have a tailbone that...
Yeah, we used to have tails, it's just they weren't useful for our purposes because we have
Fuck
hands.
that noise.
They need to come back.
We need tails again.
Well, Scott, if you want to spend the, very long time required to get tails to come back evolutionarily, you go right ahead.
So
'Cause it's
here's
gonna
my plan for that.
It's going to require a lot of staring at people's asses and looking for people with the longest tailbones. So if you want to go about
Scott
that,
just goes up to people with a caliper and just
Excuse me,
Excuse me, sir.
ma'am.
Can I ask you to drop your pants real quick?
I gotta measure your tailbone. No, well,
It's
here's
precise.
my plan for that. Is along with that, I figure that if we have one less arm than the need for a tail.
well, you see, Scott, you're going to have to find someone with one of his arms smaller than the other one. Then you're going to need to find another one with a similar issue, and then you're going to have to breed them until the arm just goes away. After, like, hundreds of generations.
I think I'm prepared.
Scott's just gonna have a journal that he passes down to his kids, and like
Kids, do not ask why, but take this caliper.
This is your livelihood.
He's just gonna give it to his kids, and his kids are gonna be like, Dad, what's this? You're gonna be like, the future, children, the future. And then you're just gonna open the door to your basement, and there's just gonna be wails and screams of dying people. And that's how Scott became.
I thought you meant whales the animal. I was like, really confused.
Oh, there'll be whales down there.
Like, how did Scott get a whale?
Just, I might have actually hit record at a certain time, so I might throw that in. Maybe not. I don't know.
Basically, all the audience needs to know is Scott doesn't understand how evolution works.
And it was.
False. I understand how it works so much that we can manipulate it to our choosings.
I literally was on the ground in tears because of laughter because of the conversation they were having earlier. It was wonderful.
And Scott, once again, you can't do that with people because it turns into genetics and into eugenics and people die.
And
apparently,
what part of
the
that
idea of eugenics is frowned upon for some reason.
Yes.
Who would have thought?
Anyway.
Disclaimer, we're terrible people. But yeah.
I'm not. You guys are terrible.
I mean, they're just words, and words can't hurt me. But anyways, Heroes of the Storm, I'm going to look at it probably because I think it looks interesting. I'm interested to see where they go with it, really. Is, I guess the main thing. If it's not free, then I'm probably not going to worry about it at all. But supposedly it's going to be free, a lot like League of Legends and all those other ones, like champion rotations and whatnot. The Resident Evil re-release has been released. The original Resident Evil got a remake of the remake, and I got it, and I played it some, and I realized that I'm a coward. And it's not even that like scary. I just like kind of like it does a really good job of building tension, I think. And one of the things that I still think they've properly fixed is the voice acting is still atrocious.
Good.
In a
it
hilarious
doesn't need to be
manner.
fixed.
It's hilarious. Like there's just one part where it's like Barry, do you know what happened to those people? And it's like, oh god. Is this how you actually act in like a real life scared situation? Or like when what's her name? I can't remember. Is it Jennifer?
Jill.
Yeah, Jill. Yeah, Jill runs into a room scared, and she's like, what is that thing? Just very, very emotionally devoid. But it does a very good job of, like, with those closed camera angles and stuff. Also, Jill has super jiggle physics now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Maybe not super, but I was like, with every step, she's just the bounciest of humans. It's like, I understand that this is kind of how it works, but yeah. It's interesting, and I will maybe eventually play through it at some point, possibly. If I ever get the time to do anything with my life ever again. Or, start learning to balance my tasks out better.
Stay tuned for the upcoming series Logan Pisses His Pants live on camera.
Yeah, no, I'm not quite ready for that yet. But that was all about the Resident Evil remake. And probably the only, I don't know. Did you guys ever play any of the old Resident Evil?
I have not.
Because I've always been more of a fan of Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
But I never played Resident Evil, so I guess I couldn't really talk. But yeah. So now we're gonna enter the fun part of the podcast. We're just gonna start talking about League. So,
Aw, yeah.
I guess we'll start with the patch notes, and that go to our resident League experts, Taylor and Garrett.
I mean, Taylor probably knows more about it than I do.
We'll let Taylor start.
Oh God.
And then you can talk about the jungle.
The jungle.
Okay. So, changes. They removed Deathfire Grasp, which was a big deal because it was the thing that all like AP mage assassin types used to instantly remove people from existence.
Pretty much, if you needed an AP item, you bought that.
Pretty much. And yep, they just straight up removed it because it was not very good for, you know, the metagame. Just because it's not fun to get immediately killed before you can react. I mean, LeBlanc can still do that, but she didn't need help. Yeah, and so they've started to balance out champions who used it a lot. I think Ahri is really the only one who's, like, been given a lot of new things, and apparently she might be a little overpowered, just because when she uses her Q, she gets, like, a movement speed boost, and her Foxfire ability targets better, and so, yeah, so we might see some fiddling around with mage assassin types.
Don't forget about Tristana.
Oh, yep, Tristana got a thing. An
The
important
end.
thing.
End
Yep,
of
she got a
podcast.
thing. Fuck. I mean, yeah. I don't know how swearing works on this podcast, but whatever.
For the most part, it doesn't really matter anymore. But
Oh yeah, I can swear all I want.
please don't.
But anyways, Tristana got her visual update and a new voiceover and
Her mouth
textures
is
and
terrifying.
it's not that bad.
It's uncomfortable.
You're uncomfortable,
Sometimes I am.
especially when Tristana's mouth is moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, they mostly left her her actual gameplay alone. They actually nerfed her a little bit, but they gave her a new ability where she throws a bomb on people and it explodes eventually.
And then you have fun with Zillion.
Yep. Scott, we have to perfect the double bomb bot lane.
We do.
It is required.
It's the ultimate strategy.
Of course, it didn't go very well the first time. But yeah.
Well, Garrett will have you talk ball.
Okay, so they've updated the jungle items so that now one of the jungle item upgrades, the second tier item, is 100 gold more expensive, which really isn't that much gold, but it makes the jungle start significantly slower, and apparently they just wanted to avoid snowballing because, God forbid, the enemy team, like, does something where they invade your jungle early on, and then you get a very successful double kill, which is really hard to pull off, and then they somehow get powerful because of that. No, that would just be too much. So they have since nerfed it a little bit so that it's more expensive and you start slower because they don't want the game happening quickly. In other news with the update, the only thing they do want happening quickly in that game is load times, because apparently it's actually something that has come about with the most recent update. The load times between games are significantly shorter.
So that wasn't just a thing that was happening.
Nope.
No, that was actually an improvement. Now you can't go to the bathroom in between loading screens.
It's
Oh,
too
no.
fast.
That's not good for me. That's when I primarily go to the bathroom whenever we sit down in the league.
Well, you should do it when we're sitting in the team builder for like 20 minutes waiting for everyone to get ready,
I mean,
rather than right as we start.
Yeah.
I don't tell you how to live your life.
Yes, you do.
That's a lie. I mean, I talked you into Warcraft, so I kind of do, but that's not the point. Garrett had more involvement in that than I did.
You monsters.
I think it's good for you. It'll teach you life lessons or something. On how to not be a dick. Or how to be a dick. Whichever way you want to look at it, really. Well, going along with the whole League thing, League of Legends music. It's beautiful. I'm pretty sure that anyone who has kept up with League of Legends knows about the, is it The Curse of the Sad Mummy? Is that the name of the song?
Yeah.
I should know, because I've listened to it only 1,000 times. But with that, they released a whole group of, I want to say 10-ish? 12, maybe? Songs. All of them based off of different characters a part of it. Like, the first one's Demacia Rising. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. I don't know if... Has anyone else on the call listened to it?
No.
Nope.
I have.
And?
I think it's good as well.
Yeah. The thing is, and I don't know if it's just like with me liking music as much as I do, but like I feel like they did a really good job of capturing everybody that they're making the music about. Like Brahms' song sounds really tough and kind of sturdy, like I would imagine he would be. Nami's is very peaceful and kind of ocean. It is very reminiscent of like an ocean kind of thing to me.
This song sounds like the ocean.
I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. And then you've got one of my favorites, Lulu and Shaco's Quirky Encounter, which is absolutely fabulous. Like, and I watched the documentary on how they made it. The woman that they got to play the violin part, did an absolutely fabulous job. Like that piece was, I mean, from what she said, she was like, yeah, whenever I started it, she had to start it at a much slower tempo, and it took her, she said, like 4 weeks to get it up to the proper tempo that they wanted it. But it's a very, very pretty piece. All of it's really good. And then recently I got into the Pentakill album, which I think came out a while ago. I'm not sure.
Came out with the Karthus update.
Yeah, so it came out a little bit ago, I guess. And then
Yep.
I really like metal, so that was a very good thing to hear, because they did a really good job and actually made it sound like metal. It was good, and not like metal as in like sheets of metal, like metal rock metal.
Oh man, I was so excited.
Hear the sounds of metal grinding up against other metal.
Yep.
It's all I ever wanted. Right. Does anyone have anything else to say about League?
I would just like to reiterate that Yasuo is terrible, and I hate him.
I mean, do you want to just go into like a mini segment of champions Taylor hates and why?
No, we'll be here all night.
There's no need for that kind of torture.
All right, guys. Taylor's gonna have his own channel where he just talks about League champions he hates.
Yep.
He gets one a day.
So we'll only be here for quick. How many champions are there in the game?
I don't even know at this point.
That many days.
And then he's gonna go back and re-rant on other ones. So another thing, PC Gamer is offering right now a thing. It's until Monday, which I think this video will either be out Sunday or Monday. So if it's out Monday, this is irrelevant entirely.
For the three of you that might actually hear this on the day it comes out.
Yeah, the whole three of you. It's completely irrelevant.
And two of those are probably us.
Yeah, well, it'll be irrelevant probably by then, but Steam is doing not Steam, sorry, PC Gamer is doing a giveaway for $500 on Steam. If you join their group on Steam, and Bundle Star is the other part of that, and you join their group, you get 2 chances to win a $500 Steam wallet card. And you get 2 chances for each thing that you do. You can also tweet about it too, and that gets it out there. But yeah, $500. That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And they're doing second place prizes of some random bundle that they have put together. So that's cool. I applied for all of them that I cared to apply for, so I have a chance of winning. I probably won't because my luck's terrible, but a man can dream.
But you can't.
I'll try to dream anyways.
And in that moment, Garrett stole away Logan's ability to dream.
No, I just dreamed twice as much.
New game that came out, Dying Light. I don't know if anyone's heard of that.
I've heard of it. I don't really know much about it.
I have a friend who's decently into the game. Apparently, from what he said, it's like a mix of, it's a zombie game, like a zombie survival game, and Mirror's Edge. That was what it was. Because you could do a bunch of crazy parkour shit.
Yep.
While slaying zombies.
it's made by the people who did Dead Island. So, sticking to what they know.
Zombies.
And yeah, from what I've seen, the game looks fairly polished. Like, I've watched some YouTubers play it and everything. It looks fairly polished. It looks pretty interesting. Though it hasn't been getting great reviews.
How long has it been out? Like 2 days now?
Yep. I believe so. I think it came out on the 28th.
I don't even know what today is, so...
It's the 30th, Logan.
Thanks for dating our content, Taylor.
Well, you need to know what the day is. Come on now. Came out on the 27th.
All I know
At
is
least in North America.
all I know is it's Friday. That's all I know.
It's all that matters. But yeah, it looks interesting. It hasn't been getting it's been getting like mediocre reviews. I think a lot because it doesn't do a lot new. It just brings a lot of stuff together. So people are mostly like, "Oh, it's another zombie game," which I get. We're kind of
zombies
oversaturated with zombies at this stage.
You could say we're being overrun by zombies, and that would be a terrible joke.
There's some sort of cultural commentary in that.
But you got like The Walking Dead became insanely popular, and then a lot of other zombie flicks came out around the same time, and yeah, a lot of zombie games too, zombie survival games. Then you're gonna get what is that? What's that one? DayZ, which is apparently never gonna see the light of day, proper light of day.
Never ever.
Yeah.
Proper light of DayZ. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We each get like one chance to make a really bad joke, and you just use yours.
Well,
I used mine way earlier, so we're fine.
Well, yeah, DayZ was the one that kind of popularized the whole. Well, I guess Minecraft technically is the one that popularized the whole early access business. That has been subject to controversy in recent months.
And it makes perfect sense of why, because a lot of people learned to abuse that thing by saying, "Look, I promised you this great, awesome game," and then never gave it to us.
Yeah, because it turns out when you do that, you're held somewhat accountable for finishing your goddamn game. Like, come on.
What? Finish a game that we promised you? What? What do you think we are, Phil Fish?
See, now you've tainted the podcast with that name.
No, I haven't. I made a joke about him, therefore it's okay. If I praised him, then I would have tainted the podcast.
I think mentioning him just causes bad things to happen. He's the Voldemort of the gaming industry.
Oh God, you said it, Lord Moldybutt.
Oh God, all my things are breaking.
Oh God.
Now that I've knocked my wallet and my phone off my desk.
Woo! But yeah, just man, Phil Fish is just his own subject to talk about if that ever comes to be a thing.
Let's not.
Does
All
he?
right.
Okay, just a question. Like, does he still exist? Is he still out there? Like,
I believe he's still alive.
Cause Fez 2 was like canceled, and then I never heard anything else about it. That was just it. It was like, Fez 2 is canceled. We're tired of this bitch. And then nothing.
I have no idea.
All right, well, moving on.
Yep.
So Taylor, you mentioned something earlier about a Nintendo YouTube thing that was going on.
Oh yeah, apparently they're taking the ban off of of people, playing their games, getting advertising money from it. Normally they would just get all of it or wouldn't allow for monetization. Now they're going to start a program where they like split it with selected partners and everything.
Yeah. I know the biggest problem with the whole thing with like Let's Players and stuff is that there was an entire like moment of people weren't really sure how that whole thing went with the whole who could claim rights to it, because one of the problems is that since you are the one narrating over it, that counts as that is your content, but the game is their content, so it just kind of crosses a stream of we're in gray area here. Almost said gray matter. But you're trying to get to like a gray area where it's like we don't know whose content counts as what. So, but I know this has been a controversy for a while.
Yep.
So on the note of Nintendo, Club Nintendo, which I'm sure Scott and I have both used, I think.
Mm-hmm. I gotta watch.
Club Nintendo is going to cancel its existence.
Which reminds me, I should see if I have any coins left over.
Yes, but the good news is, along with that, is that they're not stopping a rewards program altogether. From what I have heard, they are still going to create their own rewards program, but...
As if Club Nintendo wasn't their own.
Well, I'm sorry, they're going to create a new one. That's what I meant to say.
I can buy Super Mario Land.
Is that the Wii U one?
The 3DS one.
Oh, that's World.
Well, I mean, when I say Super Mario Land, I mean like the extremely old Mario Saves Daisy Super Mario Land.
What?
Yeah.
Okay then. But yeah, so
the one that the Rental Floss song is about, the like whatever.
Do. God, I can't remember any of the lyrics of it now, but I was gonna use some of those. But yeah, so they're gonna create a new thing, and I know like one of the rewards that I got recently, which I'm still impatiently waiting for, is both the new Smash games CD, which I think ships in. I think they only have spring 2015 as their like shipping day, or maybe that's the Mewtwo code. One of them's gonna be here in March, and I'm excited. And then Mewtwo code's gonna get released, and I could care less, honestly. But hey, Mewtwo gets added to the game, so whatever. I don't care much for or against Mewtwo. I'm one of those people.
He's so cool, though.
I mean, he is.
Neutral.
I'm just neutral about it. It's like, cool, I'm gonna get him.
No strong opinions one way or the other.
If I die, tell my wife goodbye. So that's.
Okay. I said okay.
Well, it was a Futurama. There was a there was a race of people called like the neutrals or something like that, and their entire thing was they're entirely neutral to the world.
What makes a man turn neutral? Lust for gold? Or were you just born with a heart full of neutrality?
It's great. They were like the Switzerland of the galaxy. But Club Nintendo gonna be gone. Rest in peace.
Yep.
Rippin' pepperonis.
Rippin' pepperonis. And then last thing I have on the list, which is something I found out about recently, is patch 1.8 of World of Warcraft is currently in the public testing realms. Which I'm excited for this to come out because it means the Blood Elves are going to get model updates, and I'm excited about that because that'll be cool. My Blood Elf will look pretty. Both of my Blood Elves will look pretty. But also they're adding a selfie stick. You know, for shits and giggles or whatever. Because it's 2015, why doesn't our Warcraft have selfie sticks already? Garrett.
I don't know.
Why don't we? Anyways, think that's all we have to cover for today. Does anybody have anything else you want to add?
Bazoom!
I'd just like to remind everyone that Bloodborne comes out in 2 months.
Oh, that's that soon?
Whoa,
Yep,
really?
March
I'm
20 something.
I am so excited.
Yep.
And
I just
maybe-
kind of look at the Wikipedia page sometimes to calm my nerves.
I just have to look at the weed sometimes to calm my nerves.
I
I
mean,
mean, I do that too, just the pile I have over in my room.
he doesn't smoke it or anything. It just sits there.
It just sits there. It makes me feel at home.
Also, for any police watching, if there are, I doubt it.
No one watches this.
I can dream, Scott. Wait, no, Garrett took
We
this.
took this
Except
power
for-
from you.
Except for my mother, apparently.
Wait, your mother watches this?
She watched one episode of it.
Oh God.
Why?
How did she?
Uh,
I don't. Whatever.
I like how we want people to watch this, but just not anyone we know.
Hi, Scott's mom, if you're watching
It's
this.
like we're gonna find someone who's watching it, and they're just like, why do you watch this? Like, why do you do this to yourself?
I mean, I'd be okay with it. I'm glad if more people are watching. It's just like, I don't know.
Maybe we'll be able to rake in those Boko YouTube fun bucks.
And then you've got like, what was it? There was that other thing that we made, the really bad Left for Derps or whatever. And when Ray was like, yeah, so my mom watched that and realized that you're a little more foul mouthed than I thought. I was like, God damn it, that's the way you found out. I would have been happy if that was not that way.
Does it really matter though?
I mean, no. It was funny the way it was said, but it's not important. Anyways, this has become a grand debacle at the end. At least it's at the end and not the beginning.
We should have tried harder.
We always should try harder. Nothing will beat the intro from last video.
I don't
Scott.
even remember it.
Scotch belch. That I was gonna edit out, and then I was like, eh.
Then you guys, you just don't care enough.
It just ties it all fuck. I just ties it all together.
Yep. I knew Scott was gonna say something stupid at the end, and possibly at the beginning, because that's just his MO. Anyways, this has gone on long enough. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Ah.
Ah.